Hi and welcome to Ali Lives Well on Less. I'm Ali, an early retired teacher, currently living well on my small teacher's pension. And as you can see from the title of today's video on this wide-ranging Wednesday, I'm sharing with you some more of my homemade foodie ideas to gift as Christmas gifts. And some of these things I have prepped and they've just been quietly doing their own thing for the last few months, and I'll leave links to the videos below where I show how I started them off. But today I'm going to share with you my blackcurrant vodka, raspberry gin, pear and whisky mincemeat and hot honey. And you can see behind me, there they are, all finished and ready. And these will be part of some little sort of homemade foodie hampers or gift baskets that I like to give to family and friends for Christmas. They don't cost an awful lot of money. All it takes is a little bit of time, patience, and a little bit of effort. And obviously, the finishing touches to make them look pretty is the difference between a homemade gift and a handmade gift. So, without much further ado, we're going to just go straight into the video, and you're going to see the mincemeat first, then the hot honey, and then the alcoholic liqueurs. So have a wee look and come back at the end of the video. So in here I have the mincemeat mixture. I will leave the exact recipe in the description below. But I have 800 grams of mixed fruit, 225 grams brown sugar, 225 grams of peeled and chopped pear. I have 200 grams of vegetable suet. That just happens to be the pack size that you can get here in the UK. I have 1.5 teaspoons of mixed spice. What else have I got? Juice and zest of a very large orange. And I have used 60 mils of whiskey. Now, this is just because I happen to have some miniatures that I've talked about before. I mean, I've had these about 15 years or so, so I think I'm down to my last two. So yes, it's a very posh mincemeat, this one, but you can use rum or brandy, or if you don't want to use alcohol, you can just add extra orange juice. So it's just sat overnight on my worktop counter, and oh my goodness, honestly, it smells like Christmas in a bowl. So I have already sterilised my lids by boiling them for 10 minutes, and I've sterilised my jars by washing them in hot soapy water, rinsing them in hot water, and then sterilising them in the oven for about 10 minutes or so. Now, you sterilise your jars however you like. I use the WI method, the Women's Institute method, so please do your own research on how to have sterile jars. The jars have cooled down, so they are now cold because the mixture is cold. The rule is always cold mixture, cold sterilised jars. If you're making jam, obviously the jam is hot, so hot jam, hot jars. So, I mean, I'm embarrassed to call this a recipe and a method because it's so easy, but literally all I'm going to do now is spoon this mixture into some jars. Now, my metal funnel has also been sterilised, so really all I'm going to do is fill it up and then put the lid on. Now, if you want to be really fancy, you could put a little drizzle of whiskey or whatever alcohol you use. You could just put a teeny tiny bit on the top so that when you open the jar you get a hit of whiskey. Remember, you are going to be cooking this in a hot oven, so all the whiskey will cook off. And in relation to all the other ingredients in there, it's a very small amount of whiskey. So I'm actually going to just let it settle a little bit. Yeah, see how it all sort of settles down. So I'm just going to fill as many of these jars as I can, and then we'll come back. Okay, so here we are done. I have filled 5 of my small jars. These are 4-ounce jars in old money. This is an 8-ounce jar, half a pound of mincemeat. Now, because they are cold packed, you won't get the pop on the lid, but just try and tighten them as much as you can. Now, you can leave them for a few weeks to mature. And yeah, so there you go. The easiest mincemeat recipe that I have. Okay, the next one that I am preparing is my hot honey, which you've seen in a previous video. I have had this in a cool dark cupboard for a couple of weeks. It's simply chopped up fresh chilies in a jar of raw unfiltered honey, and as you can see they rise to the top. Now it is very hot, so I'm going to strain off some of the chilies, but I will put some into the actual honey. So I'm just going to strain off a couple. It is unbelievably hot. It literally will be a drizzle of hot honey that you would put over certain things. So there we go. I think that should be enough. Okay, I'll just give it a stir. Right, this is the jar I'm keeping for myself. This is the one I'm going to gift to my son. Actually, I should have put that on the right. Okay, so let's see how well it drains without making a mess. Not your best idea, Ali. Right, okay, let's rethink this. Okay, we have a right sticky mess here. Honey is messy, and honey infused with chili. Yeah, if you forget and you lick your fingers, you get a rather burning sensation. So here we have one nice clean jar. This one is for my son. This one is for myself. I've done a teeny little one for my my daughter-in-law Layla to try and see if she likes it. And I'm going to keep the honey infused chilies in the jar. Honey is a preservative, so I'm just going to test and see how long they last. I might top it up with a little bit more honey, and then I will use these in cooking when I need some chilies. So that is the plan. So there we go. Hot honey, and it's very on trend at the moment. So here we have our blackcurrants in vodka and our raspberries in orange flavoured gin. and they've been at the bottom of my airing cupboard for the last 3 months. And it's not rocket science. All we're going to do is strain off the liquid and put it into a bottle. So we'll start with the blackcurrant. And all I've got is a jug, a sieve and some muslin. Everything is spotlessly clean. Remember, it is alcohol and sugar in here, so... Ooh, smells like alcoholic Ribena. Now, it does get messy, so I'm going to try and be as careful as I can not to spill it all over the worktop. So, I'm just going to gently pour it in. Oh, it smells good. Okay, I have now strained off the black currants, and I'm not sure if you can see. It's a lovely blackcurrant colour. Now, I did not use a lot of sugar, so it's not sickly sweet. So it would actually be really nice just as a sort of vodka and tonic, a vodka and lemonade. Sometimes liqueurs can really sticky sweet. This is not a sticky sweet one. So all I'm going to do now is pour it into my empty vodka bottle that I saved. No need to sterilise or anything because it's already sterile with the alcohol content in it anyway. And yeah, this is a messy bit. So hopefully, if I do it slowly enough, you'll be able to see the lovely blackcurranty colour. Now, as I recall, this was not a full bottle of vodka that I used, so it should be about 3/4. Although, to be fair, you do get the juice and water out of the black. Oh, right, there we go, yeah. Okay, and there's enough left for a little snifter later. There we go. Now, possibly because I used my berries already frozen, it is a bit more diluted than it would have been, but yeah. And if I am gifting this, I will decant it into smaller bottles, and I'll go and see if I can find the bottles that I used. So all I'm going to do now is do exactly the same for the raspberry gin one. Okay, I've cleaned up all the messy bits. So I now have the black currants and vodka, the raspberries and gin, and you can see that the colour has come out of the fruit and gone into the liqueur, but that's okay. I will be making jam with each of these, just a very tiny small batch of bougie jam. And I'll just do equal amounts of sugar. I will try and do that in the next couple of days, and I will film that. You might see that next week. So these are just going to go into the fridge for a couple of days. And okay, pop them there. And here we have, I wrote the wrong thing on it. So this is actually blackcurrant. I'm getting myself mixed up here. Blackcurrant vodka, raspberry gin. And I had enough of the raspberry gin to fill one of my little bottles. Now, I got these a few years ago on Etsy. If you want to get nice little bottles to present as gifts, little miniature bottles, I can't remember how much these were. I'll see if I can find something similar, but I'm down to my last two. So all you need to do is put a nice label on it. You could tie a ribbon round it, put a tag on it. And it's quite a nice wee minding, as we say in Scotland, just for a little token gift. And it really didn't cost too much in terms of money and a little bit of effort. And I like these because they've got the seal on them, so you just put them on quite tightly, and then when the person opens them, they are the first to crack the seal, and it just makes them look that wee bit more professional. So I hope that's given you some ideas that you can use to make up your own little Christmas hamper type gifts. I still have the gin infused, vodka infused fruit to deal with, and I will try and do that in the next few days. I will just turn that into jam. I still have my lemon marmalade concentrate in the cupboard, so I feel a jam session coming on quite soon, and I will try and film as much of that as I can, because homemade jams that are a wee bit different from the kinds of things that you can buy in the shop are always welcome. And certainly when I try to make up little foodie gift ideas, I always try to do things that you wouldn't normally get in the shops. I'm always looking for something that's just that wee bit different. So you've made it all the way to the end of the video. Thank you so much, and I will see you again on Foodie Friday for Foodie Friday proper, and I'll share with you my meals of the last week, which are getting more weird and wonderful by the minute, but all good, healthy, nutritious food nonetheless. And I will set up what is going to be happening in November as regards to more Christmas themed food ideas. So if you enjoyed this video, do all the usual, like, hype, comment, subscribe if you've not already subscribed, and I will see you again the next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.